What's up, everybody? We're about to go live. We're going to be talking about how to level up your personal workspace.
Yes.
So, if you can hear this, if you can see us, let us know in the chat. Give us a little wave emoji. So, yes, here we go. April, are you ready?
I'm ready. I was like waving, and of course, people can't see me.
All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and nope. And now.
Get us on our wait, what?
Fooled you.
Yeah. We are like full on in sweatshirt hoodie mode today and just chilling. So it's kind of awesome because this month in the ASC, we're talking about ownership. And the challenge that I set forth for people was to be unapologetic about you. So, I mean, I'm notorious for, in this COVID craziness, to not shower every day and wear the same clothes days on end. And so I'm owning that right now with my sweatshirt hoodie and my hair, just because my hair is a hot mess today. So I was like, I'm going to put this cute hoodie or cute hat on. And it keeps me warm too, so I don't need to put my heater on. So yay! Ooh. How have you been, Gary? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hanging in there. Excited to talk about today's topic.
Yeah, me too.
Because
I spent a whole bunch of time gearing up to do this thing that we are sharing. So right before the new year, because it was like a pain point for me. So very relevant, excited to share some tips and tricks.
Yeah. So as the title suggests, we are going to be giving you three essential, ways that you can sort of spice up your home work environment, make it more fun, because at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I've been in this space for the last 8 months or so, and if I was not intentional about the vibe that I wanted to create, I can totally see myself just going bonkers. And so we want to give you just a few things that, as we were looking back, what are the things that made it so that, we can be productive, we can keep our energy high, and, at the end of the day, make it livable, especially if you are not normally working from home, and because of everything that's going on, you're finding yourself there, because don't want you to sort of drain yourself without if you don't have to. So without further ado, I think we need to jump into it. So are you ready, April?
I am ready, Freddie.
Let's dive on in. So number one, and if you have seen Office Space, you will get this reference. It is important to decorate your office with flair. Ta-da! Yes. And what we mean by flair is, what are the knickknacks? What are the gadgets? What are the things that not only, if you're in video conference calls to sort of help define you and give you that look, whatever that look is, but also, since you're sitting there, give you a feeling, give off a vibe. And April, what are your tips in that? What are some suggestions?
Well, I mean, the flair should reflect your personality. So clearly you look back behind me and there's and maybe you can't zoom into it, but I have a lot of pictures because I think a lot about memories and accomplishments. Oh gosh, you can see it if you zoom in. I like the color purple, so you see it kind of sprinkled everywhere, and you want it to reflect you, right? So I've got my ukuleles easily at hand, but nicely placed in my background so that people know that I'm very musically inclined. I've got some solid memories. I don't think you can see, but back here, this is a frame from the my teammates when we did our improv shows, and we all would use cards to decide like how we were gonna split up the class, and we signed them all. So if any of them become famous, like I'm gonna have that with a little picture in the middle, and just some Northwestern memorabilia. And even around my desk, I have different things from conferences that like remind me, and I can easily access it. I have stuff from my kids, like artwork that they did, that just kind of gives the family vibe. And I like, I have even a couch behind to just keep things cozy. So Gary's got some really cool knickknacks on his end, some flair.
Yeah.
What do you have?
So, in case you didn't notice, I am a Star Wars fan. I am wearing my Grogu hoodie that I got from my mom. Thanks, Mama. You're awesome. And yeah, so the things that I have behind me represent that. I have my play light to remind me and remind you to play. And yeah, my bookshelf is not just for decoration. Those are books that I do reference and read from time to time again. And the things that you can't see, and this is what I meant by what is the vibe, what is the feeling, because I'm all about optimization of various environments, and your physical environment is one, especially if you're finding yourself spending a lot of time in that, you want to give off a certain feeling to help you get the things you need to get done. And so the things that are not on camera that are important to me, that I can see and easily assess, is my play permission slip. If you would have saw, it's not zooming in, but anywho, trust me, it is there. If you would have saw my post from the beginning of the year, I just reminded everyone that it is important to prioritize play and joy, and so that is my reminder. Like April, I have like tchotchkes from conferences and stuff. This is a challenge coin from World Domination Summit. Reminding me to be kind. I have a picture of my little guy. I have this cool little fidget toy that is, let's see if I can do it. Like it's sort of, if you spin it, it like, it's not focusing, but nonetheless, having your physical environment be optimized with flair, especially if you're spending a lot of time in that space, and you glance over, it gives you those like little bursts of energy. And so that is thing number one. And now we are going into section 2, and that section is
Did you see what I just did?
tech gadgets.
Woo! Now, this is kind of like our bias, because we are both tech junkies in our own way. I think Gary is like even more so than me, but that just makes us like connected that much more, because I, like having all the latest and greatest stuff. But, in terms of tech gadgets, right, this has become a, like, how do we make this whole, like, interaction and meetings online more schwanky in a sense. And, most computers these days come with cameras and all that stuff, but how about upgrade with like a fancy microphone, or an upgraded camera, or a ring light, or even just how you set up your gadgets. I just got the new iPhone today, so that's fun for me. I'm trying to think, what other tech gadgets do I have around? Just, different types of lights. I have box lighting actually in my office that I don't use all the time, but sometimes when I'm doing some fancy video streaming, I will kick them up, and you'll see this is like a box light that's coming up from the ceiling, and I've got another one over here. How about you, Gary? Share what gadgets you have.
Yeah, well, you nailed it. With the lighting and the cameras and the mics, and the main point here is, I personally, like, I went crazy. I went big. And as April mentioned, like I love this stuff, so I geek out on it. But you don't have to like drop like a G or whatever on all this fancy equipment. But there's something about just elevating that experience just slightly, outside of the default, especially if you're spending a lot of time on virtual meetings and video conference calls, and you want to give off a certain sort of perception and polish. The thing that you probably heard is I have lots of sound effects, and I how I can access them easily. I have a thing called a Stream Deck. Elgato creates it, and it allows me to do things like switch my camera view and do sound effects and turn on lights and stuff like that. But it just makes it so that. And my point here with all the tech gadgets is that you don't want it to overcrowd your space. I have my things on extendable arms since my desk for things like this doubles as a workstation. I allow myself to sort of push it out of the way so it's not in my face. That's the main thing there is, be intentional and don't feel bad about making those upgrades, especially since for a lot of us, we're going to be in this environment for a long time.
Becoming the new norm.
Right? Yeah, I read something that a lot of tech companies
Yeah.
have their teams working remotely through like June of 2021. So, yeah, why not? This is not like a temporary thing where it's like, oh, I'll be back in my regular office here pretty soon. No, we're going to be here for a bit. So, what
And
are
I
the
think also
things?
virtual backgrounds too. If you don't have the opportunity to have like a background, that's still a very technological thing. So if you're
Yeah.
using Zoom or, more and more they're allowing, to put up virtual backgrounds. So that can be another tech gadget in a sense, even though it's not as tangible as other things. So, get creative, but like leverage technology for what it's meant to be used for, and have fun with it, especially if you're a tech nerd like us.
Yeah. And so jumping into the
Final thing.
final upgrade, cushy furniture.
Yay!
Uh, you're sitting here for a long time. This is your new space. I remember when I first started. At one point, I was sitting on a bar stool, at a countertop, and that was not good for my back. It was not good, just overall, just for the vibe, for how I wanted to feel. I was like doing the T Rex thing, and if you want to make your physical environment more inviting, more fun, yeah, we invite you to think about like what is that furniture. April mentioned earlier, she has a couch over there,
Yeah.
so
It can be
she,
flair, and it can be a nice retreat from sitting at the computer. I should probably do some more standing, but I like being loungy and lazy. And so having a place to retreat, or, if my son wants to do homework and we can sit on the couch together, or, just to read so I'm not sitting at my desk, having that option. And even just making sure that the chair that you are using is comfortable. You don't need to splurge or anything, but it's also understanding the things that you need to have to help your posture. I have a like little rocking foot thing underneath that I don't use all the time because I like to sit cross-legged in my chair sometimes, but those types of things to make you comfortable, right? Because if you're going to be spending hours on end per day trying to get work done, you might as well feel comfortable in it. What other cushy furniture do we talk about? Oh, one of the things that you might not necessarily think is furniture, but I do this all over my house, and I've uh, come up with some sort of obsession with it. But like candles, set the atmosphere, set the tone. This is one of my favorites from Bath and Body Works. Is blueberry maple pancakes. I love like bakery scented candles, and to just even have that run for a few hours every day, it kind of gives you this like cushy feel, even though it's not actual furniture, but it's something that can lighten the mood depending on and the just the scent of it like can shift your mood as well.
yep,
um,
there a lot of data on sense and memory. Uh, what if imagine if you got a scent that every time you smelled it, it made you feel more confident,
mhm.
or it reminds you about a time when you were less stressed. and you knew exactly when to trigger that, that, in my opinion, is a power up.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Are there a couple other things? Oh, a couple other things that you can think of in terms of cushy furniture. Because I have a couch, but also because I'm in Chicago, one of the things that I do have in my office right here is a heated blanket. So that's fun to also curl up in while, reading or whatever. And sometimes if I'm cold, I can, plug it in over here, or I've got a heater behind me as well. Don't have to worry about that so much in California or the warmer climates. But it's another way to kind of make things a little bit more cushy. And other thing that I had on my list was just even having a workspace that you like. This is not necessarily cushy to the touch, but having a workspace that is flat and open for you to work on, so that you can kind of mix up your stuff, but then clean it up at the end of the day. I think that from an organizational perspective can give you that feeling of, you have a place to work, and then you can clean it up and prepare it for the next day later. So it's a good productivity tip. Anything
yeah.
else?
I think that's it. But I'm curious about you. What are the things that you have done, especially since we've been in this pandemic, that has helped you level up your environment? Whether it's flair, whether it's tech gadgets or cushy furniture. Leave us a comment. Let us know. And this has been another ASC Success Quickie.
Awesome. And
Yes.
yeah, and we have a the Accountability Success Circle is a community with awesome people who are all working on their personal and professional goals. Very, very positive and supportive community. And so if you are interested in checking us out, obviously go to accountabilitysuccesscircle.com. We've got some awesome stuff that's going on. We decided that we're going to do a January promotion, even though the year is just starting. We're already thinking to 2022, or at least setting up the habits to be proactive about our planning, so that we're not, trying to decide what this year is going to look like when it's already started or much after it's started. A great way to circumvent just trying to come up with New Year's resolutions. But obviously come in and check in, and we will probably share that in the next quickie or so. But come and log into the ASC, and if you want to get on this bandwagon, it'll be in there for you to sign up. And I think that's it. We've got a webinar coming up on January 20th that it will dive into the focus of our theme, which is ownership. So if you are feeling like you want to own your stuff a little bit more and really kick the year off right, come check that out too as well. We'll be doing that on the 20th. So yay!
Yay! Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, bringing you these quick tips on how you could level up all areas of your life between personal and professional, so that you can get more done while having more fun. So this has been another Accountability Success Quickie. And
Number 45. We'll see you in
wow,
number 46.
46. All right, cool. And so until next time, everyone, be well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! Woohoo!
All
Look at
right.
those sound effects and other tech gadgets. Bye!
Yep. Bye.